Hello Hasbro fans, this is Separate Destroyers with another Hasbro video, and in this video I'll be talking about my early thoughts and opinions on the upcoming Clone Wars Waves 2 and 3 of 2012, in my mind known as the Boss and Wolf Waves, but as what the Boss Wave isn't really boss as in awesome. Yeah, lame joke, but whatever, just not really that good. So I'll get right into talking about Wave 2, which comes out this month actually. First figure I'll talk about is the Aayla Secura repack. It's not really a repack I needed to see because I already have two Aayla Secura figures, two of that Aayla Secura, one's broken though. But it's not really a repack I needed to see, like Savage vs Armored. And if they were going to repack it, I would have read it. They did it in the first wave because that was kind of a repack wave with a few marquee new figures there. Cody, Phase 2 clone, and Anakin. But I would have rather see this figure repack there, and then there was a new figure slot here for something like a Phase 2 clone. See, as Hasbro just doing clones and core characters for the most part this year. But maybe something else. And yeah, Aayla replacing the Snow Plo Koon. That was just a silly figure to repack because it didn't really sell well the first time it was released. And it was very plentiful anyway, so why bother repacking it? But yeah, I don't need this repack. Savage vs Armored, and that's a different story, but that wasn't the one they chose to repack. But the new ObiWan Kenobi, it looks better detail and sculpting wise to the last version, but overall it is slightly worse from what I can see so far. The face sculpt is a bit of a mix because it's both better and worse in a way. The expressions and making it look like the show is better, but the hair is just completely the wrong colour now. It's not in the right colour like last year's version. That version at least had the right hair colour, but this one doesn't. It's incorrect hair colour, and it's very much different than articulation. You know, when Hasbro release a figure once and then retool it the next year or whatever, that sort of thing, they usually give it more articulation, but this time it's a case of scaling down. I mean, it's the same articulation as last year's figure, but it's missing wrist articulation, which is a massive blow really for the figure. But no, I think that'll probably seal it for me, and that the new version is worse. And then there's the backpack from the Evan Peel figure. It's been repacked in this ObiWan figure, and if you've seen my review of the Evan Peel figure, you know I'm not a fan of that backpack. Doesn't look too bad in pictures, but when you have it in hand, it is a really bad backpack actually. Republic Commando Boss is heavily flawed. Articulation is very bad, no wrists, knees or ankles. The accessories, the two DC sounding blaster pistols, yeah, everyday DC sounding blaster pistols that come in loads of clone figures now. There's a backpack with zipline. I'm not one of those fans of people with contest figures saying they're unhappy that it's not the actual Republic Commando backpack. Oh, and behold, I'll have some angry fanboys now on my back. But what I will say that makes me unhappy about this backpack is though it looks horrible and stupid. I mean, that's my problem with this backpack. It just looks so bad. The zipline feature, not a fan of that either, to be honest. The only accessory that really looks good and intrigues me is the Republic Commando blaster, and when I display this boss figure and review him, I'll definitely be having him hold that blaster. The only real thing that really wins with this figure is the detail. I mean, he has some of the best detailing in the line, I have to say. The only problem is there's so little paint applications on them. But something my YouTube friend Empire Fails pointed out to me, which is pretty interesting, is it looks like his helmet may be two pieces, in the kind of sense that Jet's helmet wasn't blackouts from last year. Not sure if that's it. It kind of looks like it may detach though, but I really don't know. I'll have to buy the figure and check that out for myself. But lastly in this wave is the Phase 2 Rex, of course. Accessories, they're two of your average clone weapons, because you see them in a lot of figures. I mean, DC Sending Blaster Pistols, mentioned them already. And the Z6 Rotary Cannon, which is a big heap of scrag. It's awesome on the show, but not so good in figure style, has to be said. Articulation is pretty much the same as Boss, with no knees, ankles or wrists, and it's scaling down as well. And Rex doesn't have a removable helmet. I mean, this is Rex. He removes his helmet in almost every episode he's in, to be honest. If any clone needs a helmet, the removable helmet, then it's him. I mean, after all, Rex and Wolf have removable helmets, but Commander Cody, who hasn't taken his helmet off on the show in his Phase 2 armor, has removable helmet, while Rex and Wolf have both removed their helmets don't. I mean, how does that make sense? Is there any logic behind that? I really don't think there is logic. Well, some would say there isn't any logic behind most of Hasbro's decisions these days, and they're probably right. But yeah, and you would say, well, at least Rex has good detail going for him, right? I mean, the painting looks okay on the figure and the paint applications. The problem is it's not screen accurate, and when it comes to it, you have to rate the figure, its detail, in being accurate to the movies, if it's Vintage Collection or Movies or whatever, and the Clone Wars, if it's the Clone Wars, like this example. But Rex doesn't look like the show. I mean, such as his weld markings, like on the side of his torso or ribs or whatever, on his armor, you have like dark blue, orange weld marks, but the figure just has light blue. It's not even the right colour blue, and there's no orange whatsoever. I mean, it's another example of the prototype figure looking better than the final version. I mean, Chewbacca last year is an example, and the prototype actually came out in 2012, with the final version being the 2011 one. This is Rex, so you're probably gonna see another version of him down the line, probably with removable helmet, better detail, so I won't get too worried about this. And was it for a fact, if you're a completist or a viewer like me, then you might well want to pass on this figure, because it's not really doing Rex any justice. I mean, as in my character talk earlier today, I don't really like him anymore. I used to in like the movie in season 1, but he's gotten overused now. But I can't see why you would say the figure's not doing Rex justice, because every aspect of this figure is garbage, to be honest with you. Even worse than the Jetpack Rex, and that's saying something. Anyway, before I go into too much of a Hasbro failed on Rex rant, I'll go on to Wave 3, start with the Scuba Soaker. It actually looks really good, I have to say. I mean, detail and paint applications, I have to say it's among the very best of the figures released so far. The face sculpt as well is among the best released so far. That's the thing for this figure, it looks good. In every other aspect there, it kind of sucks. I mean, articulation is bad. Not sure if it even has swivel hips, though it probably does. And the accessories aren't actually bad, except for the last one. You get 2 lightsabers, they're very nice. Same ones from the Season 3 out for Ahsoka released last year. There's the scuba helmet, or diving helmet, or mask actually, which is nice. There's macro binoculars. I'm not sure if they're the same one with the Battle Droid Commander figure, which looks okay. But the last one, the lightsaber launcher, repainted in green from that one release of Falcon. I mean, that just ruins the accessories for this figure actually, because it's so bad. It's very horrible. And that's one of the reasons I passed on that Anakin figure released a few months ago, because of that lightsaber launcher. That was one of the reasons, and so this is one of the ruining factors of this figure for me. The Scuba Ahsoka, and of course the other one is the articulation. But overall, it's very nicely detailed, and I will definitely be picking the Scuba Ahsoka up, and it probably will turn out to be the best of the wave, I have to say. Then there's the Super Battle Droid Training Simulator. This figure is so pointless. I will pick it up because the deco is nice, but it's just pointless. I mean, it wasn't even one of the main focuses of the episode. It's based on clone cadets. I mean, it's something for cut up and heavy to fight, sure, but if they had to release a training simulator version of a droid, I'd much rather the Commando droid variation. It's a more articulated figure. It looks better in figure style. Well, Super Battle Droid looks good too, but you know what I mean. And really, it just doesn't really match. I mean, Hasbro is saying consistently head and not doing any more once-offs, yet Republic Commando Boss isn't coming back. Neither is the Super Battle Droid. They don't really get much more once-off. You can't really use the excuse, well, they're making use of an existing sculpt because Boss is an all-new sculpt. The Super Battle Droid, you could make that argument, but still, they could have used many other sculpts if they wanted to repaint so badly, like the Phase 2 clone sculpt. This figure really is pointless. Has that missile-firing feature on its arm, which is kind of okay. I'm not sure if that's on any of the other two Super Battle Droids I have, but I'll have to see. I will get this droid, I have to say, maybe just to review though. But lastly, and the figure absolutely must have, is the Phase 2 Clone Commander Wolf. Pretty much my only flaw with the Phase 1 Wolf was the detail. I mean, it was either too dark or too dark actually, I think. But this Wolf's detail and colouring looks perfect. No, not too bright, not too dark, just perfect. They kind of were lazy on the accessories. They're the same from last year's Wolf figure, except for taking out the DC-15 blaster. The articulation is bad, and no non-removable helmet, which is really suckish, because Wolf, I want to see his face. See, as he's my favourite clone and all. I mean, I just hope that Rex and Wolf, we can fit existing heads from those figures versions released before underneath the Phase 2 helmets. I doubt it, knowing Hasbro, but I can hope. I mean, that would bring both Rex and Wolf's Phase 2 figures up a notch for me. And the disappointing thing is, of course, Wolf is unlikely to see another Phase 2 figure. Rex is very likely to, so that is pretty disappointing. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed hearing my early thoughts and opinions on Waves 2 and 3 of the Clone Wars in 2012, and may the Force be with you, and happy hunting.